Westchester County Legislator, Councilwoman Tasha Diaz, also known as the Iron Lady. Now, Tasha, this neighborhood it's nothing new to you. You grew up here. Everyone here, it's people that saw you growing up. They know that you do this for two particular reasons. One is because you are emotionally attached to the area, and the second reason is that you love the people of Yonkers. Okay, so I see people here, but I don't see the landlord here.
Of course not.
So tell us what's going on, and tell us why do you think that the landlord is not present here?
Well, I know why the landlord is not present here. Any landlord that has people living in deplorable conditions, of course he's not going to be present. He doesn't want people to know. But that's why we called you to come out so everybody can know the conditions that they're living in. I mean, for him to say that we can't film on his property, that right there lets you know that there are deplorable conditions. I have tenants here that are willing to let you go in and see how they live with no heat, no hot water. We have people that have pneumonia. This is something that's been going on for 10 plus years. This is something that is not new. I've helped them form their Tenants Association. So I've been there with them from the beginning. And like you said, a lot of them with you that are here have watched me grow up. So I represent this community not only as an elected official, but a person that actually resides in the community. Yes, I am a council person that actually resides in the community that she represents.
Now, I understand that this building here has a community room that is designed for those that live in the building. How can they block them from going inside and have this meeting that we have, a community meeting inside the building?
Well, now, because of Corona, we can't go into the community room. But before Corona, they were played. They would let us in. They wouldn't let us in. It was like a back and forth game with them. So I felt like the media needed to come out and actually see and actually talk and listen to what the tenants have to say, because I could stand here till I'm blue in the face and I can say they're living in these kind of conditions, these are how they live, but I want them to hear it from the people that actually live it. And that's why they are here today.
Now, I love to do these interviews and expose the wrong in our city, but I also like to hold those who are responsible. And I would like that the people of Yonkers know who they are. We hear landlord, but who is he? Who is the agency?
The landlord is Mr. Rossman. Israel Rossman. That is the landlord.
And you have
the owner. He is the owner. It is ran by Yonkers Apartments.
And you have spoken to him. And what is the grievance from the people who live here? What is the complaint?
The complaint is when they make complaints, they get retaliated against. They're intimidated. Like I said earlier, people are standing here locked out for $3.25. How could you take a tenant to court for $3? How could you turn off their key fob and not let them into the building that, first and foremost, I think is a fire hazard because there's no knob for you to even pull the door to get in. They're collecting people's money for parking, but they're cutting off their key. I got all of my tenants, my constituents out on the street. This is a problem. If they have all of their paperwork, why can't they park? Why can't they park? Why is their apartment rodent infested? This should not happen. This is a HUD building. He gets good federal funding to ensure that these tenants, if they need a light bulb, they are supposed to go downstairs and ask for it. They're supposed to get it free of no charge. If they need a toilet seat, they are supposed to go downstairs and get it free of no charge. These are the necessities that are given to the owners when you have a HUD building or a Section 8 building. These are the things that are supposed to be provided to the tenants. They are not getting these things. And when they complain about it, they're getting letters, they're getting written up. I got people in here that lived here for years, and now because they spoke out, they're getting letters that they owe $7,000 in court. But these are the scare tactics that they use. They use these tactics and they get the people in court. And sometimes the judges don't know what the tactic is. But I'm in the community and I'm from this community, so I know the tactics. And that's why I'm here to stop it now. And I want to let it be known that it's not going on here. It's going on in multiple buildings.
So even though you're here in this building, this is not exclusively about this building, Correct, legislator?
No, not at all, not at all. As a matter of fact, I mean, most complaints have come from this building, and we have taken note of it. And I want to let this landlord know, and any other landlord, that intimidation is not going to work. My assistant Millie is there. We have the listing of to get everybody's own legal protection through the county's resources. Nobody should be unrepresented when you are being targeted by a landlord, especially during COVID time. I have the listings, and my notice to the landlords is, it's winter, it's the heart of winter, provide adequate heating, okay? We have a lot of sick people in your apartments, and stop trying to evict people. It's against the law right now, and we are going to fight for these people every day until we can make them whole. These are not times to throw people on the street.
Now, county legislator, legal procedures takes time. People are being evicted today. I'm not necessarily talking about this building, but I'm talking about in general. By the time that the legal procedures start, they are out on the street. So what mechanism exists to prevent that from even happening?
Immediately, nobody can be evicted right
That's
now.
That's legally. But that is two things. There is the legal way, but then there is the reality way.
Correct.
Okay?
And that is why I am introducing the ordinance that is already in place in Ossining. It's been in place since 1986. And this ordinance is a it's a tenant association for the entire city. And with that, I would have subpoena power. The city would have subpoena power. So we wouldn't be standing here right now. We would be subpoenaing the people to stand in front of us and let us know why the tenants are complaining about these deplorable conditions and why they have not been addressed. And with that power, we have the final say-so. That board would consist of 7 people. And that board would consist of 3 people with landlord interests, 3 people with tenant interests, and 1 person that is impartial. And with that board, they can come to their tenant, they can come to their council person, they can call City Hall, and they can get these things going. So say there's a person that's continuously having mold. They take those pictures, they get their case together. Instead of waiting to go to court, you come to my office. You go to your council person's office, and we will subpoena your building in and get these answers done for you. And it will go to the proper department. So if it's something that needs to go to the buildings department, it will go to the buildings department. If it's a problem with loitering in your building and you're complaining to your management and they have done nothing about it, that is a complaint that will go to the police department. If there's a issue with your smoke alarms, your carbon monoxide detectors, that is an issue that they could come to us and we will forward to the fire department. So with this board that I am forming, it should pass 7-0. We just took it out of committee. It should pass 7-0. And after that, it will go in effect in 40 days.
Okay.
So in 40 days, that will go into effect.
But what about today? 15 and tomorrow? What is the desired goal? What would you like the owners, the landlord, to do in order to help and prevent further hardship on those people? What do you suggest he does?
I want him to actually come out and visit his building. We have a lot of landlords and owners that don't come out and visit the grounds. How about you come here and you sleep in one of your deplorable apartments for about a week, and you tell me how you like it. Move your family in and have them live in an apartment with no heat and no hot water, and see how you like it.
You know, Councilwoman, there is a precedent about what you just suggested. In New York City, not long ago, there was a slum landlord that did that, and the judge forced him to live in one of his apartments for a month. Maybe we should consider doing that in Yonkers.
Yes, maybe that is something we need to implement, because a lot of them, they don't live here. They live in Brooklyn, they live in Queens, and they leave their properties to other people to take care of, and they never come back and check on it. But when the funding is coming in, whether it's from the state or whether it's from the federal or whether it's local, they're there to have their hand out. When it's time for these people to pay their rent, they're there with their hand out. But when it's time for these people to get things fixed in their apartment, everybody turns their back on them. That is not fair.
Any federal complaints have been filed on HUD to make sure that they know that the money that they are providing to those buildings are not being used according to the policy and the conditions?
Yes, HUD has been contacted through one of my tenant relations that I work with, Ms. Baker. She's been in contact with HUD. I've been in contact with HUD. Jose has been contacted with HUD. And now HUD are raising these questions too. And they're saying, we've been giving you funding. Why are they living like this?
Thank you. So let's see now what maybe...
And Human Rights is here too. Because before Human Rights was here before I even became a council person. So they are here also to make sure that their rights are not violated. And if they have any issues, that they can also put a case in with Human Rights.
Thank you.
You wanna bring Ms. Baker to comment? Ms. Baker, come.
Yes.
Ms. Baker is one of the organizing people here in the building, and she's giving us a prize of everything that's been going on, individual apartments and so on and so forth. And Ruth, let me tell you one thing that is more upsetting to me, the reason why I'm here. I'm here in support of my colleague in government, the city government, because this is a city government action, long time coming. But I have reports that Latino families are being intimidated even worse. And that will not stand. That's what I'm saying. We are equal opportunity and everybody should be treated equally. Ms. Baker has been taking notice of everything. Ms. Baker is just, she's up to date with her rent.
I'm a district leader.
And she's also a district leader. Ms. Baker, please tell Mr. Rue what's been going on.
Hi, Mr. Cook. My name is Deborah Baker, and I became a district leader because there's been so many issues in Southwest side of Yonkers. Tasha and I have been working together for many years with Mrs. Marcy Kovac from Legal Service in reference to housing, how poor people are living. Legal Service was created in 1965 for poor people to not be intimidated, harassed, and be able to be protected. And we are not going through that. There's a big turnaround in legal services now, and we're trying to find out why. Because we've been working 5 years with Marcy Kovac in reference to housing, to fight, to bring issues to HUD, the landlord. We're just trying to get these problems solved in many different buildings. We're not trying to badger anybody. What we're trying to do is find out why are we continuing with the same conditions year after year.
Now, Ms. Baker, you talk about intimidation. There is many forms of intimidation. Now, which is the form of intimidation being used here by the management towards against the tenants?
When you speak out, when you send an email, when you send an email, when you write a letter, when you make a phone call and you get elected officials, that's the intimidation that we get. They either write false violations on you. People are being given letters in reference to owing $8.25 to $7,000 and to whatever. They can't figure out where this money is coming from. Okay, but when you start speaking out, they find different issues to start targeting.
So you might be the next target.
Oh, I am the target. I was told to leave the building, volunteer, and don't have to pay rent. Okay,
Wow.
That's what I was told.
So that's the one way to keep your mouth shut.
Yes.
They're telling you, stay silent.
Yes.
Thank you. Anything else that you would like to speak of?
Just to let it, and Ms. Baker has reported, we have a list of people. I also called the city director, reason why I'm here in support of Tasha, because this council will be able to listen directly from the streets to City Hall, and like I said, and disseminate the complaints to different departments. But more importantly, I am here to put the landlord on notice. You cannot evict anybody right now because of the legality of things. But more importantly, if you do, all these people will be represented by county legal services of the Hudson Valley. I am distributing the letter where they can call directly to open a case. And you're right, Ru, it takes time, but it's got to start somewhere. And the minute you're represented, they treat you differently. All of these people are represented by Tasha, by myself, by the mayor, and we will not stand for it.
And they will be exposed by the local media for sure.
Thank you for you exposing. This is the reality. These are our people. We are real human beings. We are not just another number. We're real people trying to take care of our families, trying to survive this pandemic together. We need the support. We need the heat. We need the services that we paid for, that the federal government pays for. And if you don't live up to the contract, then you're going to be accounted for.
That's one of the big problems, that people are not held accountable for not feeling they part of the bargain. Yes, they take the money, but they don't give back to the community and to the people that live in those buildings. And they do that because there is no legal representation, there is no accountability. They do whatever they want, and that's about it. And they know that they have the money. If you have to go in litigation, it will take forever to get the resolution.
And the point that I want to get across to my neighbors here is that they're not alone, and that together we are one voice, and that's what we're promoting here. Nobody here is alone. You're represented, and Tasha, come over here. And we're going to fight for you every which way we can to preserve your housing, to live decently. It's just a natural thing. Oh, okay. And we have a representative from the Human Rights from the city of Yonkers. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi,
Yes,
I'm
please.
Sang. I'm the executive director for the City of Yonkers, Office of the City of Yonkers Human Rights Commission. You know, these days we're all, doing a lot of Zoom meetings, but I felt it was important to come out here in person and meet the tenants here and really hear from them firsthand what's going on. These are some of the coldest days that we've experienced in a long time, and I can't imagine not having heat, proper heat, and hot water at these times. So we're going to look into it. I've been speaking to residents. We're going to do more, and we'll see what we can do.
Well, so, my job is to ask questions, okay? Because, I want people to hear from both sides. How long or when did you first learn about the living conditions of this building? Is this something new that just happened? For how long do you know, and why haven't you done anything to help them? Maybe you have. So tell us what you have.
We do what we can, and I think the office, the city hall does what it can, but there has to be some sense of responsibility, okay, on the part of the landlords. I was here 2015, 2014. We come here every year, and we have the same problem. We push them. We make demands, and we're in the same spot every year. Something has to happen. I think, with recent events and the pandemic and all, I think people are more organized and more frustrated, and we're going to really be behind them all the way.
Well, I think that one of the things that we did not have in 2014 was Tasha Diaz and Mr. Alvarado. So hopefully now they will be able to do something and help the people of this community, of this building, and other buildings around Yonkers, because this is not the only one.
Absolutely. I've known both of these public servants for years, and they're some of the most committed and dedicated public servants that the city and the county has.
Thank you. Thank you all.
There's going to be some people that don't want to say their names, okay? But they're going to say that they're just residents of 7380. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
I did tell them that. They're not going to say their names. Okay.
So I believe that you are a resident of this building.
I am.
Tell us, according to you, what is the bulk of the complaint? What is the complaint? What is it that you see that you think needs to be changed, but it's not changed? The retaliation that the residents are talking about. Tell me anything that you like to do to tell me in regards to the living conditions.
You know what I'm going to do?
I've been here for
Millie, you know what? Never mind, Millie.
unfortunately.
I'm going to go in the car.
We've been mistreated. Our health is ignored as far as the COVID situation. The precautions, there were none in place. They constantly send maintenance workers from home to home without doing any COVID evaluations or questioning to see if you were exposed. We continuously have heating and hot water problems. With the most recent staff, their bully tactics are insane, and it goes from young people to old people. The mistreatment is just
it's appalling and upsetting at this point.
Now, there is elevators in this building. How is the elevator condition? Is it good? It could be better?
It could be better.
Could,
The elevators could be better, as well as the cleaning. There are so many issues in this building. You know, from the garbage, you know, the lack of cleaning, the lack of communication. I mean, the list goes on.
so it's not one issue, it's multiple issues there.
Multiple issues. On top of that, you know, there's about what was it? I think it was about 20-something families that recently were displaced from the year of 2020, from I believe the end of February all the way up until the end of March due to a flood, because they do not properly repair or service this building. We've had multiple floodings due to pipe busting and things of that nature. It's just really a disgrace. It really is.
Thank you. So, Yonkers Voice reporting from 7383 Highland Avenue. As you guys heard, the Councilwoman, Westchester County Legislator, from the Commission of Human Resources, the conditions in this building are deplorable. Management are not doing what they are supposed to be doing. They're receiving funds from the HUD to help, to subsidize work that needs to be done, but is not being done. So Yonkers Voice reporting from 7383, exposing the things that are wrong with the community. We are the platform where the community can speak and let their concerns be heard.